This is Lee with 82 Gaming 12, back with another video over Glory and Empire. We're on YouTube channel Sons of Liberty 75. And this is First Victories, Wellington vs. Napoleon. It's a lock and load published game. And the designer is Terry Dougherty. And he's created a very fine grand tactical system. And in my opinion, he solved the issue of how to deal with skirmishers in a very effective way. In my opinion, they're not too powerful and they're not too weak. They provide a defensive element and also an offensive element, much like they did historically. And so if you're looking for a historical combat system, then I suggest that you check this out if you don't have it already. And if you do have it, get it out on your table. Start playing with it. Start examining how the combat works and why. I've only got two issues. One has to do with the counters, the information counters. There's not enough morale counters. Okay, they needed to give you more of those and less of some of these others. I applaud Lock and Load and Mr. Dougherty for giving us 3 levels of rules and 3 different difficulty levels. I think that's great. But maybe the more advanced could have been a add-on, much like the assault on the Western Ridge. That 3rd level of difficulty could have been something that gamers would have purchased separately, and more counters could have been provided for what you need to play the game. I'm having to use these to represent morale changes because there's not enough counters. So I've got a video where I go off on a rant on that. So, I'm not going to do that. The other issue has to do with the map. And in my opinion, the terrain doesn't match the actual location. And the fact that if we focus here at Toledo, okay, where I put these two blocks, okay, we come up here a little high. And then we lay this out, okay. So here's Vimeiro. Okay, if we look here, there's Vimeiro. Here's this road going up to Toledo. Okay, this road going up to Toledo. And there's that, I'm going to show you where the rules talk about this being a dry stream bed. Okay, but that's this tributary here running through here. from the minor river, okay, that's on the map. And I'm going to show you in the companion rules, or companion, what they call it, companion book, okay, where it talks about the river. Let's see if I can find it here. Yeah, right here. Okay, so here, where's it at? Oh, right here. The Rio Maceira is a minor river. Its tributaries are all dry streams. So even though this is a dry stream, they colored it blue. Okay, so this is a dry stream. Now, artillery units still can't cross that. They've got to cross at a ford, which would be where you have a road or a trail that crosses, or a bridge. Okay. All right. Now we go back. Okay. And if we read right here, okay, it talks about St. Clair, marsh and column, by platoons along the woody height, which descends in rapid slope on the right towards the ravine through which the road passes from Vimeiro to Toledo. Okay. Now, if we look at this road, there is no ravine. Okay, there's no steep slopes. So the French were able to just march across there without any difficulty, instead of what they had to do historically, which was, if I pull back, okay, which was they had to march around, okay, to get there. It was too difficult. They didn't want to go up, down the ravine, and then back up it, okay, because it's so steep. So they went around, and that's what slowed the French right attack, the right flank attack. And it was uncoordinated. So Junot went ahead with his attack on Vimeiro while the right forces were still marching to get in position. And so let's see what else we got out here. Maybe I'm blocking something here. Yeah, so if we look back over there, that's Ventosa. Okay. So on this map, Vimeiro, this is Toledo, this is Ventosa. Okay. And then you've got Fontenelle. It's got to be back over here. And even on this map, if you look, okay, Maceira, okay, around Maceira, there is some steep or quick changes in elevation, especially around the this tributary here, okay. So that is what you're going to see. If I lay this flat, that's what you're going to see right here. Okay, so this it should be turned a little bit like that, so that it matches the map. But if we look here, if you look, let me get this. Let me get my lamp up here. So, okay, so if you look here, okay, you can see all these elevation changes, rapid elevation changes. Okay. Right here and right here, which would be just on the other side of this river. I mean, this road. So in between these two roads, the one going to Fontanelle and Toledo, there should be rapid changes in elevation here. Okay, and we don't have that on the map. Okay, that's the western ridge there. Okay, and that's all along here. We've got some, but it's not rapid. And it's not steep. So this here, it should the terrain here should be a lot more difficult. Okay. And also behind, which we have that, if we look here, okay, that's really rapid, okay, right there, okay, especially here, the part of the western ridge, where we have the Macier River. I think they call it something else here. They call it the Alcobriciaia. Hey, I don't know if you can see that, but they've got it under a different name. But anyways, that doesn't matter. What matters is if we look, okay, right there, okay, we have some difficult terrain here. Okay, quite a few it's close elevation changes, and creates like a ravine, especially back over in this area where the woods are and so forth, the trees and the basically a shrub. Okay, all that shrub is. But so what happens, and I've talked about this before, is that it makes it easier on the French to coordinate their forces. It was easy for me to get my cavalry over there because I just went straight across here. I didn't have to go wide around like I should have. So if they ever do a second edition, hopefully they make some adjustments to the map so that it would be over here between these two roads or trails, the terrain would be difficult, more difficult. In this area. And probably on either side of this road here or a trail. And it's not. So it was easy for me to get my units in position. And I'm over there fighting in what should be really difficult terrain with my cavalry. So I guess it's just something I guess that they missed. They've got it in the companion book. It even talks about it on page 76 of the companion book. Okay. It says which descends in rapid slope on the right towards the ravine through which the road passes. So this road is in a ravine, but it's not showing that. I mean, I guess they're showing it with this is a low level and this is higher, but that's not as steep. You know, it's not costing multiple. It's just costing one extra for infantry and foot artillery and horse cavalry, of course. It costs extra, but it's not that extra. It's just +1 or +2 for cavalry, I think. Let's see. Yeah, you're just going up one contour line. So cavalry's +2. Artillery is only +1. Foot artillery. Infantry just +1. It's not 2 or 3 contour lines. And so even in another part of the companion book, it talks about that. If we flip over, let's see here if I can find it again. Okay, we're on page 77 now. Pull this back over here. Okay, down here, Solinac's brigade, which, though last detached to the right, had first scaled the opposite mountain. After having traversed Toledo, had nearly reached Fontenelle, and was not yet formed when Major General Ferguson came upon it with 4 regiments. So, scaled the opposite mountain. Okay. But I don't see that on this map. I'm not seeing the difficulty that Solinac's units would have had to pass. It's pretty easy for the French to get over there. And that makes it difficult for the British when you're doing this, your plan. And I think that's one of the reasons the French have had success. Instead of being, spending time to get the forces on the right. Wellesley would have had time to push his units and been more front here and not pushed back where they're at. They're getting pushed back toward that minor river and only holding on in square over there. And if the French are smart, they'd get their units over there, put them in line, and just walk up to those squares and blast away at them. And also bring in some artillery, but the artillery's got to take the long way around because they can't cross this, which, according to the commanding book, that's a dry stream. Okay, probably colored it so you know it's a stream. Instead of maybe looking like a road, maybe they tried some different colors. But, it's not that big a deal as long as, I didn't see, on here, it's hard to tell what the dry stream is. Okay, so, what's the difference between this and this? They look exactly the same size, This one's just spread to 2 hexes. This is just within a hex. And, if you just did that would be within a hex. So it was confusing until I came across that. And, that's, of course, my fault for not reading through the companion book and just focusing more on the rules, the rule book, and depending on just this. So, I've been charging for a stream a +2, and it should just be nothing. Okay, except for, of course, cavalry should only be +1. Okay, and it shouldn't be a obstacle, hex-side obstacle, which, I've been rolling for hex-side obstacles for crossing that. No big deal. But still, I guess at this time of the year, it was a dry stream. So, enough of that, I guess. It's still a very wonderful system. And you always come across something, you're not going to really, I don't know if you're going to find a perfect game. There's always, where something's, going to have a rata or whatever. But I just wonder if they did enough play testing to realize, number one, you don't have enough counters, and number two, there's a ravine missing on the map that, with it not there, the French have a huge advantage in this battle, in my opinion. So, there that is. To me, it's not a game killer. Either one, because I have lots of games where you've run short of counters, information counters, and if you have other games that are part of the system, you just go and get those. But it's just as a gamer, you don't want to have to go get counters from somewhere else or use other things to represent counters that have information on them like these do. You've got so my yellow disc represents that marker, but my yellow disc has none of the information. Okay, but I have to use the yellow disc because I'm out of these. Okay, I don't have enough of them. So, all right, enough of that. We now go to the French phase. And the first thing we have is the recovery segment. And I'll say this companion book is top notch. As a former history teacher, this is just incredible. The information they give you, the background information on leaders and summarizing, the actual what took place and providing so much detail and other things, of course, as well. Back here they've also got, find it now. So you've got all of this information back here, and it's just really great. Battle plans. You've got, of course, you also have, all of the charts and stuff back here if you needed to like reprint them for some reason. You've also got the solo rules with the cards. That's amazing. Okay, so not only do you have, it's a solo assist, not only do you have 3 different levels of rules, but you also have a solo assist. And then you have all the commentary and other scenarios and so forth that's in this companion book. It's top notch, but it just shows, okay, as a human, we're prone to error. Okay, we make mistakes, and no matter how many times you edit, I know from making out my own test that you can edit and edit, but you have the same eyes looking at something. You keep seeing the same thing. But if you have many different eyes looking at something from a variety of backgrounds and so forth, then you end up with them pointing out things that maybe other people's miss. So, okay. Let's jump right into the French phase. And so we got the recovery segment, which includes the rally phase and the cavalry recovery phase. I just do both of those together. But then we have the artillery resupply phase, and we don't have the fatigue at this level. So rally phase and the cavalry recovery phase. Like I said, I do that together. Something else that I was not doing was, with your ammo, with your artillery, if you stack a leader with that artillery and you're rolling to regain ammunition, then you get a +2. So that was something that I also found. Where did I find that? I think it's a companion book. So that's very important. I could have been using some of these leaders to, get ammo. And of course, some games the Labatai, one of the versions of the rules use caisson wagons that bring fresh ammo to the artillery. So there's different ways to do that. Here they have you move the artillery to a road to where the supply would be. The supply would stay on the road. So makes sense. But you could easily use, you know, you'd have to use like a blank counter or something. But anyways, let's start rolling for the recovery. And we've got some units over here that are in danger of being removed from the battle. So we have to think about that. So, okay, we'll start with this unit over here that's shaken. So that's -10. I rolled a 44. They're going to stay shaken. Okay, let's see about this routed unit. That's a -20. Ooh, I rolled a 99. So they are going to jump up to shaken. They're going to be able to throw out some skirmishers. Okay, now who know is with this unit. -20, but +10, so -10. I rolled a 50. They're going to be gone. That becomes a 40. That's lower. Okay, you got to roll higher than that 45. So this unit, which was already been reduced, is now done. They've run for the hills. And left who know in a lurch. Okay, so now let's move around, see what else we got here. Okay, so this unit is in a zone of control. This unit is not. So let's move that out of the way. So that disordered unit, and they are actually with a leader. That's with Kellerman. Okay, so he's going to have a +6. So it'll be a +1 by the time I subtract the -5. And I rolled an 18, so that doesn't change. They're going to stay disordered. We've got this broken unit here. -15. Ooh, an 8. So they're going to rout. 3. Move back to there. That's not good. Okay, and then this one here. -5. Rolled a 90. So they're no longer. This unit is in a zone of control. That unit is in this zone. Okay, so this shaken unit here, we can roll for that. $64. Okay, so they passed. They're disordered now. This unit back here, I can go ahead and do the ammo while I'm doing all of this. I'll just go ahead and do that. Of course, we just roll one die here. 4, so no, they don't get their ammo. Okay, so now we just move back over here. And this unit here with this leader. Artillery. -5 plus 1 is -4. 34. They're gonna stay disordered. Okay. Let's see, this unit is a zone, this one is not. It's shaken. Okay, so they've got -10. 14, they're gonna stay shaken. Okay. Okay, then we're gonna go to that one. -5. Okay, so 54 becomes 49, so they passed. Okay, then we have this broken unit here. That's -15. Okay, they're gonna route. So they're gonna move 6. 6. So they moved all the way back there. And I'll go ahead and roll for this broken one here with Weiss. So that's -15 plus 2, so that's -13. 76, they're going to pass. So they then go back, well, they go to shaken. And they get 2 spent markers. Of course, they're going to lose 1. Okay. Then we go to that unit. Got to remove 1 spent marker there. All right, so that unit there has a -10. Oh, they're going to stay shaken. I rolled a 15. Okay, then we go to this one. -10 there. 80. And they remove a spent marker. Just move this out of the way. We'll check that later. Over here, oops, remove the spent marker. -5 plus 2 is a -3. 42, they're going to stay disordered. All right, so back here, -5. 76, okay, so they are no longer disordered. And here we can remove a spent marker. -5, no, -10 plus 2 is -8. 42. Okay, they're going to stay shaken. Okay. All right, so that takes care of the rally phase, the cavalry phase, and the artillery resupply. Let's start over here. And right here, we're going to fire right here. This unit is actually in line, but they got skirmishers out. So I need to get those skirmishers put away. So we're going to be firing at 0, and instead of firing at a much higher rate. So, okay. .21 is not going to be effective. Okay, next we go to right here. This is where we've got this artillery unit. Okay, low ammo. And they're going to blast away at that unit right there, straight ahead. All right, so they got a strength of 2. Canister is +3, so they're sitting at 5. Ooh, an 18, really? That's going to be a morale check. Okay, and they're shaken, so -10. Oh, wait a minute here. Hold on. There's a skirmisher there. So instead of being at 5, they're at 4. And an 18 is not going to get a morale check. And not only that, they're going to be out of ammo because they rolled so low. Low ammo, you roll 49 or less, you're now out of ammo. And that's not too good for them. They're going to have to get out of there. Okay. Here, sorter unit. Has skirmishers, and I believe they're rifled. No, they're not. Okay, but they can still reach this unit here. Which does not have any skirmishers, and let's see, what kind of terrain are they in? Open, clear terrain. So they're disordered. So that's -1. So they're going to have a strength of 2. 34 is not going to do anything, I don't think. Nope. Nope. So let's see here. Now we move on. Oh, shoot. Dadgummit. So we got a skirmisher there. So he's going to fire there. He's going to be at 0. Strength of 0. One thing is this guy's he's an SED. And the other thing is he's in shrub. So it's less than 0, but you get to roll on the 0 column no matter what. 64, not enough. Need at least a 69. So we'll move on. Okay, that guy doesn't have a shot. This guy here does, though. Oh. Why does he have... Oh. Well, he's going to have to get rid of the skirmisher and let the artillery unit be on top. So, that'll be a 1, but he's firing at just an SCD. Okay, so that's -2. It's going to be a 0. Strength of 0. 85. Okay, that'll be a morale check. And they rolled a 27. What is his... Oh, he's going to be disordered. Disordered. And I do not have any more disordered or shaken markers. So, let's see. Actually, this here represents shaken. The green one represents disorder. So, he's disordered. And he's also out of command. Okay. So now here, this guy, he's shaken. He's got SCD, which has a strength of 2. And he's going to fire at this artillery unit here. And I guess there's infantry there too. Yeah. And he's firing into their flank. So strength of 2, but -1 because he's shaken. But he's firing into their flank. +2. So now he's at a strength of 3. 54 will be a morale check. They rolled a 99, so they passed. Okay. Now let's go to this one. This one here doesn't have a shot because he'd be firing through his own units there. But this guy here, which is an artillery unit with a strength of 2, but they're disordered, but they still, okay, so that brings them to a strength of 1, but they're within canister, so that is going to bring them +3, so now we're at 4. Strength of 4. 40. It's a morale check. And they rolled a 70. Which means they're going to pass. Okay, then we go to this unit here. And again, can't fire because of that. This guy here can fire. If he was in... He's got to be like turned like that. Okay, so he's in column. He's disordered. He's going to be at 0. Strength of 0. 85. Morale check. 38. -5 is a 33. So they are shaken, which means they're forced back. Which means the artillery unit is going to be eliminated. this unit has to go back to there and change turn to face that guy's direction. So, but this artillery unit's done. Okay. Let's see here. All right, so this unit here is SED. Strength of 2, but they are disordered. So that's going to be a -1. So they're going to have just a strength of 1 against this unit, but they have a skirmisher, so it's going to end up being a 0. 95 is going to be a morale check -10, and that unit rolled a 6. So what I do is I roll 2 sets of dice, a blue and a red. Blue for the French, red for the British, because you're going to, more than likely, most of the time, you're going to have a morale check. So if you just roll them together, it speeds it up instead of rolling separate. So we're going to have a morale loss. Okay. So they will be disordered. I don't have any more of those more. I got to go over here and get one of these. Let's get the skirmisher up. But at 95, I mean, look, that might be a leader casualty. Where did I see that at? Pretty sure that's on this. It's on here somewhere. One of these charts I thought had that on here. Maybe not. There it is. Fire attack, 95 to 99. So their leader there just got, and he was a replacement. So we just take him off and we'll put him back on somewhere, but he does come off. And I think he goes, is it 2? Or just the next turn? Might be 2, but I think he's got to sit out a turn, so that would be put him to there. Okay. So we have this skirmisher here. It's going to fire right here. So he's 1. He's 1, so that's going to be a 0. 64. I think he's got to have a 69. Yeah, 69. This guy here, range of only 2, and he can't fire here because this unit's in his way. That's my interpretation of the line of sight. Because I remember looking here at the line of sight. And it talked about there's a pretty good illustration. Dealing with skirmishers. Let's see here. There it is. Okay, so if we're looking at this here, okay, so looking at, okay, so we're looking at E here as the target, okay. And we go down here, let's see. Well, I guess if they're rifle, let's see. Oh, yeah, right here. Okay, for this unit here, to fire here, let's see what it says here. Okay, it says that Unit D cannot be the target of rifled armed units because line of sight is required for rifle armed units to target units in the rifle zone. And Unit B blocks line of sight to D from the woods hex. So if we go up here, if this rifle unit is able to extend up and then fire, they're saying this blocks because it runs along that hex spine there. And it would be different if, okay, now he moves up to here, he's got a straight shot right there. None of these units would block because he's rifled. But if he's not rifled, of course he can't reach that. But say, so he can't target C because A's in the way. He could target B because he's extended out. But if he was here, he couldn't fire at C. Is my understanding. And so there's no line of sight required for being in the green zone. So, okay. So if we're looking here, say this unit here, trying to fire here, I guess because this unit is here, can't fire through. Let me just take a closer look at that line of sight. But if we go over to the line of sight rules, okay, blocking hexes. Okay, so line of sight is blocked if it crosses any part of a blocking hex. Line of sight is blocked if it coincides exactly with a hex spine of a blocking hex. And potential obstructions, terrain, ridges, military crest, contour lines, or contours, and combat units. So there you go. So they're not able to fire there. So we got to move on to other units. So we've got this unit here, which is in skirmish mode. Okay. And they're going to fire here at this square, which is considered to be a column. So that's going to be a +1. So basically, the strength is going to be a 1. You know, they've got -10. The skirmishers, the strength of 1. -1 is 0. +1 for the square. So one, we rolled a 63, which is going to be morale check. They have a 33 is what they rolled. And let's see here. So that's exactly what their morale is. Let me see here. If they have any kind of morale boost for being in square, I think that it only pertains to if they're in being charged. So, okay, so they're going to fail, which means they have to come, I believe they got to come out of the square because they disorder. But let me look at that. Let me look at that. I think they do. I think they've got to come out of the square. Let's see here. We should have an index here somewhere. Talks about squares. Yeah. I don't know if it'll actually tell us anything there. I think we'll have to go to morale. Disorder was 66. Let's check there first. 66. I know they can't change. They can't. If you have any kind of irregular morale, you cannot form a square. But maybe they can retain if they're already in a square. All right, let's go back over here to the square. I know I haven't with the skirmishers. I know with the battalion level skirmishers, you're supposed to roll for their whether or not they accept their orders or they, or I mean not orders, but if they're in command. So let's find where it talks about square. Here we go. Where's it at? Oh, there it is, square. Well, it does not say. I think they stay in square. If they go to shaken, no, maybe they come out of square. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they come out of square. So they would have to go to the column too. Let's see here. That's something I guess I need to really look through here to see if I can find. taking them out of square. So they also have to go to column. So take them out of square. We're going to turn them so they're in square. Column. And they're disordered. Okay. And that takes care of the fire combat. Now we would actually now go to the defensive artillery phase. See if we have any. Oh, that one limbered. Why is that one limbered? Guess he's moving. Oh, he's moving up. Okay. I don't think we have any. No, we have this artillery right here. But he can't fire. This guy here is blocking. He could turn. There's two of them there. He could turn like so. I could fire up there. Let's pull back. Okay, so we've got these two artillery pieces right here. They both have a strength of 1. Okay. And they can fire straight up that to this unit here. Let's see how far that is. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that's 8. So that's a British 6-pounder that can't fire 8. So but they might be able. Look, here's the book again for the use of the little yellow templates. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 1. So it's that. So this one here, I don't know. I should have cut that one off. That one has 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yeah. Okay. With this thing, this is supposed to be placed on top of their artillery piece, although it doesn't show that. But in the example, it only has 2 here, not 3. So, okay, so if we put that there, he's going to be able to fire on this unit here. Okay. So he could also fire on this unit. So that's what's neat about the template. You can lay them out there and say, okay, that guy is in his range, within his arc of fire. So we're going to fire at this unit here. Does have skirmishers. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, strength of 2. Skirmishers -1. He's in column, that's +1. So we're back to 2. We've got a strength of 2. 35, no effect. The rest of the artillery, I believe, is looking to get either move or to resupply. So that's that. So now we go to the movement segment. Okay. And we've got some attacking to do. And also we have Ackland back there that's in reserve. Got a reserve order back here. So we've got, let's see here, we've got this unit here. Where's their leader at? Right there. So both of these guys are out of order. Okay. What is this guy? Oh, what's this doing here? Actually put that over here. Okay. All right, so here, let's start with this attack here. We've got Petite, Petite, Petit, 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 Petit. Okay. He's in line. And he's just going to remove his skirmishers. I don't think removing your skirmishers is a morale check. Or even allows them to fire on you. But that's what he does. All right, so here they're going to go to limber. which draws fire from this skirmisher here. Now that's an ammo only target. They're unlimbered. $44. No effect. Okay. Then they move out of there. Now wait a minute. No, they cannot do that. I keep giving skirmishers range. They're not in their hex, and they're not adjacent, so they can't be firing. I don't know why I've been doing that, but I have for some reason. So they shouldn't be able to fire because they're not in their zone. They've got to be adjacent. Now, if they move adjacent, they can fire, but being 2 or 3 X's away, that's only for offensive fire range. So, okay, so it costs cavalry, no, artillery to limber costs 4. And they've got a total of 7. So they can move 3 away. What's the shrub cost? Cost 4. They don't want to go through that. Artillery, let's see, to go cost +1. So they would go 1, 2, 3, like that. And don't know what I want to do with him yet. Okay, so Kellerman, he doesn't have. So who has the attack order here? Do I give it to this guy? Or did I give it to Kellerman? Should have been to Kellerman, but maybe he failed. I don't recall now. Shoot. All right, so he's going to go to line. Okay. I think I gave it to Lasson. And I would actually have to roll for him to see if both of his brigades would get orders. Is that, isn't that right? Della Board has, where's he at? He actually has a 2 for fire combat. I guess for artillery. Maybe have him stacked with artillery. Okay. Let's see here. Maybe that's in the more advanced game. Let's see what we got here about. Corpse Leader orders check. Oh, well, we're not doing that. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. I just had that one. This is a core. So we're giving orders throughout this, not just one on him and everybody's in command. He doesn't have that much of ability anyways. So, kind of rambling. I've got to do something over here. So, these guys are out of command. They're going to throw up. Let's see, he can throw up an SCD with a strength of 3 to try to slow those guys down. We didn't want to move. This guy over here can throw up SCD as well. He's only got a movement of because he's out of command. Four. So 1, 2. 3 right there. And who knows? I guess he's going to move over here to help this artillery get some ammo. So he can easily move to 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So well, this unit actually want to move in here closer. And then this one here, I think I already moved it. Yeah. No, I moved that one. This one I haven't moved yet. So 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. Stay like that. He's only got a range of 2, so this guy here is actually out of order. This guy Oh, that's our. He can move forward and assault right there. That's what he'll do. He's under attack orders. Okay. This guy here. Now when he does that, when he moves in there, this guy here could fire on him. So, ouch. Strength of 3. He's in column, so that becomes a 4. So he's turn. Two, no effect. Okay. So this guy here can move there and assault. This guy can go here and here to assault. Of course, this guy can fire here. I didn't have him fire. This one here has a strength of 3. Firing here, we got a skirmisher, so strength of 2. No, he's disordered. He doesn't have a skirmisher. So it's still strength of 3, plus he's in column, so strength of 4. 26, I don't know if that's going to do much. Well, that's a morale check. Roll a 51. Let's say -5. 51. Yeah, he's going to be, oops. Shaken. Okay, he's going to be shaken. Fall back. We've got this guy that boards with. He'll come in for the 1, 2, 3. He'll come in there. And again, we got an assault, but he's getting fired on. Okay, strength of 3, -2 with SED. So now we got a strength of 1 in column, strength of 2. Uh, 29, so I don't think that's going to do anything. No. Okay, so there that is. This guy here is going to slide back. One, two, three. Well, he's part of 1-1. So he'll stay where he's at. This guy's going to stay where he's at. This guy's going to go through here. 1, 2, and assault. This guy's going to fire. Artillery unit. Well, they can't fire because of that guy. So here's the target. So it's going to be a 1. 14 is no effect. Oops. I think he's shaking. And then these guys are just going to join in. Okay. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and move these guys. So this guy's out of command. You can use that road though. So he has a movement of potential of 4. If he moves on the road or trail, it would only cost 1. Is that the road or is that the trail? So half. So 1, 2, 3. Let's see, 3, 4. You can go to right there. And this guy here, okay, he's going to turn around and go back up this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And this one, we got a red under there for, what is that? Is that because he's broken? guess. I don't think I rolled for that one. Did I roll? I don't think so. 67. 15. He would have passed. So he would have went from that to this. There. Okay. So then we go over to these other guys here. So let's see here, the leader, okay, range of 4. Let's mark Ron. Here's their leader. He's got 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this one here is out of order. I can find another out of order marker. There's one. Okay, so he's out of order. So this guy's disordered. So the only unit that can attack or do anything is this one. So he wants to attack these guys. So he'll move to here. Okay. And then we'll put the charge marker on him. This guy is just going to move up to there. He's not out of war. He's not out now. All right, so we've got, and then this guy's just going to, let's see, we'll move the leader over to here. And this guy's going to move back. And turn like that. All right, so that takes care of that. We're going to stop right there. And I'll pick up with the assaults and charges to wrap up this turn afterwards. So that's where we're at.